Welcome to Max Asian. Today I bring you an incredible selection of romantic comedies. These are the K-dramas that have won the hearts of thousands of fans around the world and that you definitely cannot miss. From adorable stories to romances that will make you swoon, this list has everything a Dora Maniaco needs. But before we start the video, it would really help me out if you could take a moment to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your kind support. Number 10. Business Proposal. Hari and Taemu are two people who never imagined meeting on a blind date. She's an ordinary employee at a food company who agrees to pretend to be her best friend to ruin an awkward date. Imagine her face when she discovers that the guy on the date is absolutely the CEO of her own company. Hari tries to scare him off with all kinds of strange behaviors, but here's the interesting part. Nothing works. Taemu is completely intrigued and makes her a fake marriage proposal that leaves her speechless. Now they're trapped in a contract relationship where they have to pretend to be in love in front of their families and coworkers. The tension between them grows every day because what started as an act is turning into something absolutely real. We'll see how these two navigate between adorable lies, funny situations, and feelings they can't keep denying. A romantic comedy that hooks you from the first episode with its incredible chemistry. Number 9. Yumi Sells 2. This is a story that will make you laugh and cry at the same time. After a painful breakup, Yumi is absolutely determined to focus on herself and put love on pause. Her love cells are asleep and she just wants to move forward with her career. She moves to the marketing department and there she meets Bobby, a video game developer with a personality completely different from anything she's known. Imagine starting over when you thought you didn't want to try anymore. Bobby is sweet, understanding, and little by little he's waking up those cells that Yumi thought were dead. Here comes the most shocking part. Her ex Guwung returns to her life as a successful CEO who seems to have changed. The tension between these three characters keeps you on the edge of your seat because Yumi has to decide between her past and her future. We'll see how the cells inside her head work to help her make the right decision, how she learns to love herself first, and how she finally finds the perfect balance between her dreams and love. Number 8. Kiss Sixth Sense. What would you do if every time you kiss someone you could see their future? Yisul lives with this absolutely incredible but also complicated power. She never knows when what she sees will happen, whether it'll be tomorrow or in several years. Her whole world turns upside down when by accident her lips brush Minhu's neck, her arrogant and irritating boss, and she has a disturbing vision. The two of them are together in bed completely naked. Imagine discovering that your future includes the guy you hate the most at work. Yisul goes into total panic and does absolutely everything possible to prevent that vision from coming true. Here comes the fun part. While she tries to keep her distance, Minhu starts showing a different side. He has all 5 senses super developed and can perceive things that no one else notices, including Yisul's confused feelings. The chemistry between these two grows with each episode, and you can't stop wondering if fate can really be changed or if it's already written. We'll see how they navigate this cat and mouse game until they finally accept the inevitable. Number 7. Love to Hate You. Here we have Miran, a lawyer who practices martial arts and is absolutely not afraid of anything, especially men who abuse their power. On the other hand, we have Kang Ho, a super famous movie star who completely distrusts women after bitter experiences. Imagine when these two worlds collide in the worst possible way. Miran hears Kang Ho talking trash about women and immediately adds him to her list of guys who need a lesson. Fate brings them together when she starts working at the law firm that handles celebrity scandals and has to deal with him directly. Here comes the interesting part. Kang Ho needs to prepare for a role where he has to fight and discovers that Miran has incredible combat skills. He asks for her help and she agrees with one condition. They're going to pretend to be in a relationship for mutual benefit. The tension between these two is explosive because both are proud and stubborn. We'll see how little by little they tear down the barriers they built and discover that maybe love isn't a war after all. Number 6. Welcome to Samdalri. It all begins when Samdal, a talented and successful photographer in Seoul, is sabotaged by a jealous rival who completely destroys her reputation. Imagine losing everything from one moment to the next: your career, your fame, your confidence. With no options and absolutely devastated, Samdal returns to her hometown on Jeju Island to hide from the world. Here comes the most shocking part. When she arrives in Samdalri, she reunites with Yongpil, her childhood friend who is now a meteorologist. Yongpil's story will break your heart because he lost his mother in a storm due to a wrong forecast and dedicated his life to making sure no one else suffers that loss. The chemistry between these two is beautiful and deep, full of shared memories and feelings that were never said. The town friends form an incredible support group that helps her heal. We'll see how Samdal finds the courage to get up after falling, how she rebuilds her life from scratch, and how she realizes that true love was waiting for her at home all this time. Number 5. See You in My 19th Life. Honestly, this K-drama will make you believe in fate and in love that crosses lifetimes. Jiam has an absolutely extraordinary gift. She remembers all her 19 reincarnations with perfect clarity. But there's one life she can't forget, her life number 18, where she met Seoha when they were both children and fell deeply in love with him. That life ended tragically, and now she's determined to find him again. Imagine looking for someone you loved in a past life without knowing if they'll recognize you or if they'll fall in love with you again. Here comes the interesting part. Ji-eum finally finds him, but discovers that Seoha was marked by the trauma of losing his childhood friend without knowing that she's right in front of him. Can she make him fall in love with the person she became in this life? The tension grows when she works near him and little by little tries to reconnect. We'll see how fate plays with these two, and if true love can overcome time, death, and oblivion. Number 4. Lovely Runner. Imagine having a disability after a terrible accident and finding comfort in the music of your favorite idol. That's exactly what happened to Imsal with Seon-jae, an incredible star whose song saved her in her darkest moments. Everything falls apart when she hears the devastating news that Seon-jae ended his life. The pain is absolutely unbearable. But here comes the most shocking part. In the middle of her sadness, Imsal suddenly travels to the past and has the chance to change fate. Now she's in the past where Seon-jae still lives, and she does absolutely everything possible to save him from the tragedy she knows is coming. Imagine knowing the future and fighting against it with all your strength. In the process, Imsol ends up falling in love with Seon-jae in a completely different way. Not as a fan, but as someone who really knows him. The chemistry between these two is beautiful, and we'll see how she battles against fate to give Seon-jae's life a second chance. Can she change what's written, or does fate always win? Number 3. Queen of Tears. They've been married for 3 years, but live as complete strangers under the same roof. Hae-in is the heiress of Queen's Group, a super rich Chaebol family, while Hyun-woo comes from a humble family from the countryside. She's known as the arrogant queen at Queen's department stores, and he handles all the legal matters of the company. Their marriage is absolutely on the brink of collapse, and Hyun-woo is already planning the divorce in his head. But here comes the most shocking part. Hae-in receives a devastating diagnosis of brain cancer that changes absolutely everything. Imagine realizing you're going to lose someone just when you decided to let them go. This news forces them to really look at each other for the first time in years and face all the mistakes they made. Hyun-woo realizes how selfish he's been, and Hae-in understands there are things more important than pride. We'll see how they navigate between the extended family full of secrets, the past that hurt them, and the possibility of losing everything they have. A story that will break your heart but also make you believe in second chances. Number 2. My Sweet Mobster. Let me introduce you to Ji-hwan, an ex-gang member with an absolutely dark past who managed to completely change his life. Now he's the CEO of a company called Thirsty Deer and dedicates his time to hiring other ex-convicts to give them a second chance, just like he got. The problem is that Ji-hwan is incredibly shy with women and doesn't know how to approach them. On the other hand, we have Eunha, a content creator for children who broadcasts as Sister Minnie. She's absolutely adorable, full of energy and always positive. It all starts when these two meet by accident and have a series of completely funny misunderstandings. Imagine a tough guy with a heart of gold trying to win over a sweet girl without having any idea how to do it. Here comes the interesting part. There's a prosecutor named Hyun Woo who is also in love with Yoon-ha and won't give up easily. We'll see how Ji-hwan proves that the past doesn't define you and how love can bloom in the most unexpected places. A sweet romantic comedy that will make you smile from beginning to end. Number 1. Love Next Door. In this story, we meet Sok-ryu, a girl who was always absolutely perfect at everything. First in her class, working for an incredible global company, and with a life that everyone envied. But something happens at her job that makes her quit and return to Korea completely lost and without direction. Imagine having to go back home when everything fell apart. Here comes the interesting part. When she returns, she reunites with Sung Hyo, the son of her mom's friend. These two grew up together and know absolutely everything about each other, including the most embarrassing childhood moments. Sung Hyo is now a super successful architect who runs his own studio and is basically perfect at everything. However, there's something that has always bothered him, and that something is Sok-ryu. What would happen if your childhood friend became something more? The tension between these two is incredible because they have years of shared history, kept secrets, and feelings they never expressed. We'll see how Sok-ryu finds her way while discovering that the love of her life was right next door all this time. And with this, we finish our top 10 of the best romantic comedies. I hope you enjoyed this journey through these incredible K-dramas and that you find your next favorite on this list. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Asian series content. Tell me in the comments which of these K-dramas you've already watched and which one you're going to watch now. See you in the next video.